Hello, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. I thought we'll have a short live stream. Let me check and see what's in my tea. Sometimes ants get there. And if it is, it's unfortunate. So while you guys get your questions together, I just check and see what my auntie doing here. All right. Nah, not interested. I gotta watch that redo it. All right, I guess I'll have no tea this time. So, so remember, like our YouTube channel, friends, as we're having a. Just let me open this thing here. Simultaneous live stream at YouTube and TikTok. So we usually have a protocol: age, gender, and where you're tuning in from. Just three little code: M for male, F for female, your age, and which country or city you're watching the program. We talk about thoughts, consciousness, fear, desire, ego. We talk about relationship, breakups, how you can move on, what's the inner movement of your psyche after breakup, and the questions that you might have about breakups and so on and so forth. We also go deeper into OCD and OCD subsets, such as HOCD and whatnot, and we'll discover the components of the brain involved in that glitch disorder of the brain, and what are the techniques and how we can clarify ourselves. And we talk about studies of Dr. Schwartz and the 4 steps, the experiences of the Dr. Spirit, Penfield, Owen, Libet, and then we talk about how we can, in general, understand this glitch of the brain and help to rewire your brain through neuroplasticity and get on with your happy and normal daily life. But as our TikTok friends seem to be uncaring about my request, I'd like to repeat it again. When you join, please do me a favor. Let me know a little bit about yourself, just like hello, or not even hello, M or F, or however you signify your gender, with your age and where you're tuning in from, what part of the world. That helps me a lot, and I get to know a little bit about you so I know how to address you, at the same time how to connect with you when I want to answer your questions. Having said that, don't all of you answer me at the same time, just one at a time. My TikTok friends are always very quiet, and hardly I see them comply to my humble requests. So, however, just so you know, unless I have those, there will be no answer to your questions. That's where the That's where the enforcement comes along. And we have, it says, encourage your viewers to share your live and invite more friends. Okay, please share lives and encourage more friends. And we have on YouTube, we have Stephen here. Says, good evening, Maran. Good evening, Stephen. And just like Stephen, easily says Stephen M for male, 43, age, Los Angeles. So that's helps me to know who he is. And of course, he's known to me because he always been one of my clients for many years and participants in YouTube live streams. And so, but that's the example how I expect and hope that you guys will do. Now, could TikTok friends click one? That means you can hear me, and click two if you can't hear me. Just type one if you can hear me, type two if you don't hear me. Do the record man says two. That means you do not hear me, right? Is that what you're saying? If you hear me, please type one. Obviously, you have heard me because you typed some number. That means you know what it's all about. Okay, dude, the record man. I got you. I got your number, and you've got a good spirit. And Stephen says, don't really have much to say since you answered my last email. And how is everything? Well, I am sitting here and I thought maybe we'll share. It's a very good, mild weather out there. It's not cold anymore. It's not hot. It's very pleasant. You can actually take a walk outside at night. You got to wear something warm, of course. Today we had a warm sun, and I got to actually take my mom out of the care center for a bit of a, you know, stroll on the wheelchair in the sunshine. That was very good. So, but I am looking forward to see how many of you TikTok friends can actually do for once what I say. Please let me know if you're male, female, M for male, F for female. It's not too hard to write. Your age and your gender. However you signify your gender. So M for male, F female, and however else it is that you signify it, and then age and which city you're watching this program. I'd appreciate that. And Kosar, male 24, Kurdistan. Ah, hello, Kosar Jan. How are you, dear? Thank you for joining us. Carrie, I'm going to direct my question to you since I've been talking in general and nobody listens. I I would like you to, if you would be kind enough, like our YouTube friends, put in some way that we can recognize who it is, know a little bit about you. For example, Stephen from Los Angeles puts M for male, 43, his age, and LA, Los Angeles. Three little codes. And Kosar from Kurdistan puts M for male, 24, age, and Kurdistan, where he is watching the program. And if I could ask you guys to do the same on TikTok, I'd be grateful. So I know a little bit about, who it is that I'm actually talking to. So let's see if she will do that. No. Either you guys like dude, the record man cannot hear me, as he indicated, or you guys just don't give a damn. Which, wait, you will have some question, and then I will not answer because I need those codes. Until then, let's go to our YouTube friends, see if you have any questions here. Saumai Telange says, hi, Saumai, 18 female India. Hello there. Good of you to join us. On TikTok, we have Gloria just joined. And we have Lil Kunt, Marianne, and Apple user, Retro, Patty Poo, okay. And user 778, Naila, The Will to Change, Jesus was Palestinian, okay, all right. We're on a political focus here, but I just read the call signs here. So, and none of you guys have been kind enough to actually comply to my request. Age, gender, where are you tuning in from? You know, usually when we have a live stream, we have like 5, 6, 700 people. Tonight, I think it's not the night for live stream. Not too many people are available. Although we have many on TikTok, but what good is that if they're not participating? If you guys think that this is a show, I'll be lecturing. There would be no lecture tonight. It's all for you guys to answer your questions, your concerns about your breakup, your concerns about your relationship, thoughts, consciousness, fear, desire, ego. What is thinking? What's the relationship within thoughts and consciousness? What about fear? How is it born? How about desire? How is that born? And so on. And then we talk about OCD and subsets of OCD and how to use the techniques such as Dr. Schwartz's 4-step and other experiences that other experts have done in their laboratories to help you to see the components of brain involved in that glitch, disorder, and how to rewire your brain through neuroplasticity to come back to default setting. And KFC says, follows the live creator and says, you talked to me about a problem a while ago. Thank you. You're quite welcome, KFC. I appreciate it. I don't remember what it was about, but delighted that it was helpful to you. And Saumai or Saumia says, I just want to ask that why I am not that much magnetic, like whenever my friends meet someone, the guy end up confessing their love to them, why this is not happening to me. Well, it's not something that every one of your friends actually experience, that some guy expresses his love to them once they meet. If a guy expresses his love to a woman right when they meet, he's full of shit because, or he doesn't know that that is not love, that is lust. Love happens in the consciousness level. When you guys exchange values and get to know each other and understand and see how you behave and negotiate your daily life in the real outside world, while you can see the way you guys interact with other people and with the challenges of your life. And when you guys find out how many things you have in common and how you support each other, you're there for each other, it takes a while. And what are the compatibility on the mental level, on the consciousness level, and eventually you guys get to know each other bit by bit, more and more, trust each other more, be there for each other, and then love can take place. So what you see at the moment that somebody utters "I love you," it just simply they either talking nonsense, they know that it's not love, or they just really don't know. Most people think pleasure is happiness, just as they think love is the same as lust. But in most cases, we men are designed in a visual way. We see a beautiful woman, she's all doed up and very presentable. And that excitement and that genetic program coding that we have to pursue woman, pursue female, confuses us to think this is love. But in fact, that is a program that we have. We are interested in that woman for mating, and it interests us, captures our attention. That's a prelude to getting to know each other, to fall in love. That interest, initial interest, physical interest. But women don't fall in love by the aesthetics of the man in most cases. It takes a while for them to appreciate each other's consciousness and then see how compatible they are on that level. And then that becomes love. So whoever tells your friend that they love them at the first sight is just full of shit. Or it's just lustful and is just trying to express his admiration or his infatuation. Other than that, there is nothing else there. And you probably present yourself in a more reserved and serious way, and you're not provocative sexually, so they would have to uh, measure that in a different way, different units of measurement, and they won't be able to express such feelings towards you because you seem to be more of a substance and expect a little bit more of a uh, cordial behavior before they can dare to say such things. That's pretty much the rest of it is stories. And someone says, but why no one approaches me? Well, sometimes when you're too serious, like more than necessary to keep the flies away, you will end up keeping everybody away. So you got to be sociable, but not in a way that they would think you're loose and they can approach you in any way, shape, or form that they wish. They will see the parameters, they will see the lines drawn, and they will be able to see how they could behave. You would be able to see how they're behaving and measure that, and then you will perhaps allow them to be a little bit more friendly depending on their interaction with you. And so the rest of it, I don't know. Maybe I haven't seen you. I don't know how you look like. Maybe you like to be fit more. If you're not, if you are, well, then that's a different story. Mm, there are some things that perhaps you might want to ask your girlfriends because I haven't seen you. I cannot make an intelligent comment, and therefore it would be useless for me to try. She says, like, sometimes I feel I'm not beautiful or worthy enough to deserve love and have a boyfriend. Well, beauty, many people are beautiful today. Either they are naturally beautiful or they do some enhancements of some kind and they become beautiful. But that is no guarantee that they will actually have a long term relationship with their boyfriend or when they find one. Because again, relationships takes place and flourishes in the conscious level. So if you guys don't behave in the same measurements that you expect from each other, whether you're beautiful or not, it will break down. I have a story that it may be helpful to you to see that beauty is not enough to attract a man, while it is a good imitation or attracts the man at the beginning. But if there is no backing or no foundation to build anything on the basis of the values and behavior and compatibility on the conscious level, that same man that was infatuated with that beautiful woman will have no interest. And that can happen in a second. I remember there was this girl that was probably the most beautiful girl I had ever seen in my entire life. And I was at the time 32 years old. No, I was I was maybe about 40 years old. I was divorced and I had my little son that I adore. And I was always with him, going to sport events and training and martial arts and tennis and all that. And on my business side, I met this lady who was a manager of a project that I was there. And she was the most beautiful woman on earth. That's what I thought. She had everything that I would have thought is beautiful. 2 years later, I never approached her because she was married. When she was divorced, she one day told me, "Oh, I'm divorced." Oh, I said, "I'm so sorry." But in my heart, good on God, she's divorced. So we got talking a little bit more, and after about a while, for some reason, she saw me somewhere and she gave me her phone number. Well, that was a blessing. So we talked and I invited her out. And this was the girl that for 2, 3 years, I thought it was the most beautiful girl I'd ever seen. And what a chance would it be to date her eventually, if possible, at all in this life. So the opportunity came and I picked her up. We were supposed to go to a restaurant and a movie. So this girl that had stolen my heart, so to speak, or at least lustful, we went to the restaurant and we sat down. The first word that came out of her mouth, I lost interest. 100% interest gone. We finished our dinner cordially and we enjoyed, and we went to a movie. And she put her head on my shoulder, and that was very romantic. But I didn't even feel like kiss her on the cheek when I took her home and thanked her for the date. It has to do with the energy. It has to do with the synergic effect between two. It has to do with the quality of the conversation. It has to do with the values and consciousness and content of your consciousness. So that beautiful aesthetic beauty vanishes. So if you're thinking that they don't talk to you because you're not beautiful, that's nonsense, because every woman is beautiful. Every single woman is beautiful to somebody. People have different tastes. So dubbing yourself that is very unwise. No, I don't care how you look like. I'm sure you have many beautiful traits physically and mentally and in your lifestyle. So have that to be your asset rather than antagonizing yourself for no reason. And understand that all that beauty that you're talking about, none of them is what's going to hold the relationship together. So if you think you're not as hot as some of your friends are, well, then if the guy comes and approaches you, he's coming and approaching you because he likes you as a person, not just as a beautiful, let's say, a lustful thing only. He's obviously sexually attracted to you, but at the same time, he's trying to get to know you because he's more interested in your personality and so on. So you can bank on that. Yasmin says, how do you get over the humiliation and betrayal of being used as a rebound when you assumed that you were in a loving relationship for 9 months and accidentally find out that you were never the main? Well, that's not on you. You're an honest person. You approached it with an honest intentions to have a relationship with this person, and that person, like any other people who, whether they notice that on purpose they are using someone to to save themselves from the hurt that they're receiving, or they just thought that they're really interested while they were still having the old relationship hanging over their head. Either way, that's not on you, because it wasn't your intention. You went in with clear intentions. And if that person has not behaved in a cordial manner, in an honest manner, or at least he didn't know or he did, either way, there is no humiliation, none whatsoever. If you knew he is on that rebound, just wants to use you to entertain himself too, so he will be clear from that hurt that he had received, and you would still go into the relationship with that person, yeah, that would be something that you would want to address. But when you're just going in with a clear conscience and intentions to, reciprocate the kindness and attention of that person, there is no humiliation on your for you. Its humiliation is on him. All right, let's see. What do we have here? And TikTok friends are mostly listening. All right, we will consider TikTok friends as spectators. Expe- we don't expect anything from you guys. Listeners. And Yasmin says, thank you, sir. You're quite welcome. Let's see. Do we have any more question here? TikTok friends, what are you doing here if you're not asking any question? Just want to listen to the answers to other people's questions. We have so many TikTok observers, but none are talking. Don't be shy. I don't bite. I don't bite. I don't know if you guys watched that movie by Pink Panther by what was his name? Brilliant. Geez, one of my favorite comedians. You know, okay, I'm confused right now. I can't remember it. And Yasmin says, do you have any advice on learning to trust people again after a breakup? It's not about learning. You analyze and you assess them every once in a while as you go through a relationship with them. If they still have been behaving in such a way that they are worthy of your trust, you continue to trust. You trust nobody and everybody. In other words, you analyze their behavior all the time. You can't just say, just because yesterday I gave him some money to go buy an orange and brought the rest back, if I give him money today to buy the television, he'll still do the same and be honest. You just got to check the, receipt. So when you negotiate, when you interact with someone, you see how they treat you, how consistent they are in their behavior, and then you judge them on that basis. Otherwise, you know, there is no formula that how to trust people. So sometimes you just should never trust them because many people are just simply um, not good people. They're not trustable, and you shouldn't be trusting them. So you analyze, you always see, does it make sense what they're saying or what they're doing, what they're proposing? And does it work for you? What do you think about it? I mean, how could you really say that you got to trust everybody that you're in a relationship? Trust in what? You got to be specific if you want. Trust in what? That he's not going to cheat on you? Well, you don't know. You'll know during, in time. But remember, they have the same feelings towards you. How do they know that you're going to not be cheating them or whatever the trust issue may be? So there is no formula that based on that you should trust someone or based on some other stuff you shouldn't trust someone. No, you trust people as you see how they behave with you and you decide in that way. And we have Kosar, male 24 Kurdistan, and he says he's a heterosexual. He says, I have questions, master. Okay. He says, I have HOCD. Is this is this me doubting or this is my brain? I'm a little bit confusing about myself. Look, HOCD is a malfunction in the signaling system of the brain. The same brain that is malfunctioning and has intrusive thoughts, and when amygdala is overactive and sending emotional danger signals that doesn't exist, and it comes in and the prefrontal cortex says, well, there's danger coming in signal, but there's no narrative to it. I got to give it a narrative. So it says, what's most dangerous to this person? His sexuality. So it connects that emotional danger signal to a narrative of intrusive thoughts in regards to sexuality, and then gives it that narrative. And at the same time, in midbrain basal ganglia, there is a place called the striatum. In the striatum, there are a bunch of things, but there's also a lever called caudate nucleus. Caudate nucleus is designed to shut down the intrusive thoughts based on your values, your gender, and everything when they show up. When caudate nucleus is not doing its job and malfunctioning, that lever is malfunctioning, its automatic behavior of shutting down the intrusive thoughts, things that are irrelevant to you and your gender and so on. It's designed that way. And then prefrontal cortex is given a narrative to that emotional danger signal that the amygdala sends out. And caudate nucleus is not shutting down the intrusive thought because that narrative to that signal is intrusive, but it's not doing its job. So that narrative hovers, doesn't dissipate. If caudate nucleus was working good as before, it would shut it down and it would dissipate. But because it doesn't dissipate because of malfunction, you think it must mean something. And the same brain that's in the glitch of OCD, the same brain that's in glitch of malfunction is now going to interpret this for you. How could you trust the brain that is already in malfunction in its interpretation of this happening? That tells you, oh, it's you. It's already malfunctioning. So its judgment is also malfunctioning. That's why you got to focus on your awareness and the fact that you're questioning this here, that you said, this is not my interest. This is not what I prefer it to be. Why is it here? What are these thoughts for? I'm not this. And you just told me before the question, you said, M24 Kurdistan, heterosexual, meaning your awareness is telling you, I'm a heterosexual. Why do I have these thoughts? These questions are not belonging to someone who's actually thinking the same way that the actual brain is suggesting. It belongs to someone whose awareness, you, is seeing the malfunction of the brain, because brain is an organ, brain is not you, you're not the brain, and then sees the contradiction here and says, Mehran, what is this? This question of what it is enough to tell you you're not what the brain suggests. You never will be. Your awareness is telling you your gender is heterosexual. If you were not, you wouldn't even notice this uttering of the brain to be anything different than your preference. Like if some thought comes to my head or somebody utters in the street, hey, Mehran, you love girls. Like, you like the pretty girls. Yeah, thank you. That's the end of it. There is no intrusive, there is no alarm going on, there is no objection going on, there is no, what is this comment all about? Yeah, it's natural, right? The same thing for you. If the brain is saying something that is not in line with your values and you're noticing that contradiction, that's enough for you to know that you're not. It's the brain making these suggestions, and that is not you in agreement of any sort. And Sumaya says, I don't know how I can pronounce your name. Saumaya says, do you believe in the law of attraction manifestation? Well, you know, law of attraction, it has its limits. You can't be sitting down and say, hamburger, 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 and you'll be full. No, body has its rules. You got to get up, go get the ingredient, come and make it and eat it. So wishing for it or focusing on it, it's good. It's a motivational thing, but it's not going to make it happen for you by just sitting down. $1 million, $1 million, $1 million. Well, okay. Well, unless I get off my ass and actually go come up with the project or whatever it is, at least buy a lottery ticket. It won't happen. So this whole business of law of attraction, it has to come with an action to turn any suggestion or the law of attraction to actually have any chance. Kosar says, thank you, Master. Well, you're quite welcome. No, Master. God bless you. And what do we have here? All right. TikTok friends are just enjoying listening. No one participating. You guys know that I do have a site, mindthatseekstruth.com. Mindthatseekstruth.com. You can go on it and make an appointment for an hour or half an hour Skype consultation. And if you make a registration for an hour, you're a first-time client, I'll add a 30 minutes on me, so we'll have longer than an hour, so you won't have to rush, and we get to know the details of your question, and we'll address it one-on-one on Skype. Also, on my site, there is a feature that you can write your question, and it costs you 1/4 of an appointment for Skype consultation one-on-one, and then I will record your answer to your question, about 4 or 5 minutes. The question cannot be long laundry list. A paragraph, you tell me your question, and about 4 or 5 minutes or 6 minutes, I will record your answer and I will email it to you. And that is a service that we have. We also have group sessions that we have one registrant here that is still waiting for other 2 more to add. At least you have to have 3 to have that session happening. It can go up to 10 people, and it's of course almost half the price of the 1 hour one-on-one. However, because of so many people, it will go on for 2-3 hours, depending on how many people we have. And that's another feature that we have. You go on my site and you will see what's available, and you'll decide if that is what you would like to choose to talk to me one-on-one on Skype. Okay, it's been 37 minutes, guys, and I just wanted to have a short talk tonight and see if I can answer some questions, and I think we have. So at this point, it's time for me to say I love you all. Thank you very much for being here. I'll answer that one later, Samuel. It's time for me to say I love you all. Thank you very much for being here and giving me the opportunity to share a thing or two with you. I look forward to our next live stream. In the meantime, be good to yourself and to the others. I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now. Subscribe on my channel, visit my channel, and go through the videos that you might be interested in. Mindthatseekstruth.com is making it one step away to talk to me one-on-one on Skype and discuss what's concerning you. I'll talk to you soon.